Alright, so I'm going to walk you through how to inspect elements on the page, to test CSS, and then input that into the custom CSS menu on your Squarespace site. So here's the thing. Like, the first line of defense when you want to change the way your Squarespace site looks is to go into the design menu in the style editor and edit things from here. So if I wanted to, for instance, this is my site and I want to update the contact form because it looks like blah. So if you click on the form, it's going to show me all of the elements within the style that I can edit, that I have access to. And you can see that really the only thing I can do when it comes to the form is to change this button. So I want to change the actual text input here, which I can't do from the style editor. So that means I need to go and I need to do some custom CSS here. But I'm not exactly sure what I need to be writing, which is where the inspect element comes in. So I am using a Chrome browser, but you can also do this from Safari or Firefox as well. And if you're using Internet Explorer, then I don't know what you're even doing here. Okay, so what you want to do is hover over the element that you want to update, right click, and choose inspect. Now I've set up my properties to show on the right hand side of the screen. Yours might show up differently, but if you see these three vertical dots over on the right corner, if you click that where it says dock side, you can choose how you want it to show up. So yours might show up dock to the bottom. I have mine dock to the right because it's just easier that way. You can also have it be in a separate window if that works for you. All right, now you'll notice that as I hover over parts of the HTML here, it's highlighting what that is affecting on the page preview. Okay, so I want to find the input, and here we go. So I'll click that to select it, and then underneath the HTML here we have the styles. Underneath the styles we have a console, which you can close because that's not necessary right now. So I'm just going to make this style a little bit bigger. Anything that's grayed out with this gray background means I'm not able to edit it. So if I want to change the style, I would just click into here where it says element.style, just click and it'll let you start typing stuff. So I'm just going to test some stuff out, and whatever I put here, it's not affecting the page. I'm not changing anything. This is basically like a test playground sandbox area. I can just refresh the page and any changes that I've made will be erased. So no big deal, do whatever you want here. So I'm just gonna say border, none. And you see how that removed the border there? And I like that look better than that stupid border. But I do wanna have a border on the bottom. We'll say 3 pixels and solid and a dark gray color. And I think maybe that's like too thick, so maybe try 2 pixels. And then you can notice here that there's actually a slight border radius. There's a slight rounding going on. I want to remove that as well. Oh, okay, sorry, none is not an option. Say 0. Alright, so you can do other stuff here too. I could say background color white. And basically you just play with it. Now you can see all these changes that I'm making is only affecting this one element. What I really want to do is affect all of the text inputs. So back to the HTML, I can see the input class is field element and text. So I'm just going to copy that by double clicking in there. So we'll highlight this and copy it. And remember that's an input. Okay, now I want to go into my custom CSS window. And I like to add a comment so I know what this is going to be about. And then I'm going to type in input. And in CSS or Sass like this is, to have a class, you type a period. If it's an ID, you type a hashtag. So this is a class, so I'll type period and then paste in that class name. And then you do curly brackets. So text is also a class. And then I'll go back here to these styles that I just made and I'll copy them and I'll paste them in here. Command V. Okay, so you can see that when I pasted those in, nothing happened. So that lets me know that this level of specificity isn't right or what I'm targeting is not right. So I'm gonna go over here and this part that I can't edit, I'm just gonna copy that. I'm just gonna copy these classes and see if maybe that's what I should be targeting. Paste that in. And yep, now you see it works. So now I have the look that I'm going for, and now I can go ahead and close this inspect element panel, and I can just change things directly in here. And you can also target the placeholder text, and some other things to consider is what browser your visitor is going to be viewing this from, because the form elements show up differently on Chrome versus Firefox versus Safari versus Internet Explorer. So there are some different CSS things that you can do to make sure that it shows up across all browsers the way you want. But this training isn't about that. I was just showing you how to do inspect element and then change it in the custom CSS. And you see, like, I didn't do it perfectly. It's a matter of trial and error, kind of just playing around with it. You can't mess anything up. Just go in there and try it out and let me know how it goes.